Hey guys, Kev here, and I have a review to do for you of the WingmanEDC Mach 3 Key Lime LaCroix. And this is one of the rare cases where I actually filmed this video. Well, I was in the middle of filming it, and then I deleted it because I went off on some crazy shit, and I don't know, I just didn't feel comfortable posting that, and it devolved. And I essentially just was rambling and taking the knife apart and shit. I'll talk about it here, because I do want to go over what happened, but I didn't want to really show it. Because one, it was just dumb, the shit I was doing. But two, it was also frustrating, and I was being a little ruthless. So I want to be a little bit more choice with my words, because it's not like we're dealing with Benchmade here or Spyderco or somebody I can blast and then not care about later. I like this company. I like the things they do. And I want them to succeed. So I want to give them positive feedback or productive criticism. I know that word didn't make sense, but we're going to talk now about the WingmanEDC Mach 3. So I'll quickly touch on what happened. I came up here to do the review. I started the review, and then I looked at the knife, and I was like, that looks slightly off center. And then I grabbed the box so I could grab the tool so I could just check it or whatever. And then I was just going to glue it. I was just going to glue it in place and call it a day, because I did not Loctite this, aka use super glue on it, because it has proprietary hardware. It has tooling on both sides, but the tooling is opposite. So like the pattern in here is different on this side than this side. Now, comes in this nice box. Cool box. Tells you what the knife is. This is the Mach 3 in M390 with a belt satin and White Storm fat carbon. You can get this in White Storm, Arctic, Lava Flow, Jungle Wear, and then a sort of normal just weave carbon fiber. And that is sort of the sub frame lock version. And then there's also a frame lock version of this. And they're all in M390. You can get hand satin or belt satin in each. $340 for belt satin, $380 for hand satin. I got this for $316 at E-Knives. I don't know why the price was different for like a couple days, but it was. So I got it. Got lucky, I guess. And it does not have a steel insert. That's an important piece of information for some people that will care. I don't care if it's done well. It's done pretty well here. I do have to clean the tang, pretty regularly just to be safe. I'm probably overly OCD about it, but I do that. So yeah, let's look inside. You get this box then inside with a magnetic flap. You get a nice pouch. So you get kind of, you get your money's worth here, packaging wise. You get a little pamphlet. It's a Tomy Mayo design. You get this cool little dog tag, a picture of the knife. That's the Wingman logo, or no, Mayo logo, and then Wingman's logo. Then you have sort of a dog tag, MTNT Mach 3, Bowler M390, Tie Fat Carbon, Tomy Mayo. Cool. Then it comes with this pouch, and it does come with a tool. It's normally in the box. I have it in here because I swapped the bearings out. I got skiff bearings in there. And one of the washers looks like absolute dog piss on both sides. So I took a washer I had from something else that was the same size and swapped it. There's the bearings. Normal ass-ended bearings. So you get this tool, right? And this tool frustrates the shit out of me for a couple of reasons. Let me get this stuff just kind of over here for now. So the deal with the tool is it fits one side. It fits here. Now, in order to get this centered, and the way with the whole video that went haywire, I actually flipped the pivot over and put it through this side. Normally it's through this side, which makes sense because tooling here, you want to make it sure you loosen this one and that one and then take it apart, right? I flipped it, so that's on me. But you see how it fits here? It does not fit on this side. It's fucking weird. I've tried to do mental gymnastics and think, like, can I flip it or something? There's no way to do that unless I'm dumb. And then you have the tooling for this down here on the end here. And then, you know, you have this little open area so you can hang this off of something, or you could stick something through it and get extra torque, whatever. Here's my issue with this. One, fits one side, which sucks. I kind of remember it fitting both on the one I had like a year ago. I actually had this and reviewed this model before in Jungle Wear. So technically I have a video out there. I think it was the hand rub version. I didn't even know they did a belt satin version. You can see I'm eyeing that centering like a hawk. It is centered. It's just, I don't know. I'm OCD as hell. But so you don't get a lot of torque with this. You get enough, but you know. And then it's a spinning and pivot, but you can only adjust one side. So Loctiting this is an absolute nightmare for a couple of reasons. One, I use super glue, which is my choice, but it's hard when you already have to be fast and like try to tighten this thing down that's gluing itself as you do it. And you got this little thing and you're trying to like adjust and flip, and because you don't have just a spinning like driver where you can, you know, let it rip. So it's really frustrating. And then if it's not right, because for some reason with this knife, it never like repeats itself. I'll take the screw out, tighten it back down, and then it'll be a different position centered. And then I got to adjust this screw to kind of like shift things, because I guess because you have a screw here and a screw here and maybe there's just a pin in the middle, it has more tension on the end. So, you know, the adjustments make more of a difference on each end, right? Whereas if you have a knife like the GOM here, you have a pin, a screw here, and then big screw here and a big screw, well, just a screw here and a screw here underneath. So everything's kind of aligning as you go. And that assists in keeping things centered without having to, like if I unscrew the inside screw here, it's not going to set the centering off, you know? But that's what happens with this, and it's frustrating. So yeah, I just hate this. I hate this, and I hate that it doesn't have it on both sides. Here's the thing. Look how much room you have. There's literally a hole there. Like, why on God's green earth don't they just, A, make these little guys a little smaller, and then just put a flipping Torx hole right there? Fix the problem, right? Or make the whole screw slightly bigger and put a Torx hole there. And then we could have Torx on each side. It would still look cool with the fan thing, you know. And you could do the same thing down here. And just give me a break, because this is annoying. And I don't know. I hate proprietary hardware with a passion. But I hate it even more when it's frustrating, you know. Microtech's worse because they don't give you the damn tool. At least they give you the tool here. But they give you one tool, and you need two, basically. To do what I want to do, like, comfortably with this knife, I want to be able to control both sides. And what I want is a bit, not a little bomb. It's cute, but, like, it's not functional. So, all right, I'm done. Sorry about that. I'm angry about that shit. So I don't love the no lock bar insert. I think at this price point, we should have a lock bar insert. That's key for me here. I honestly did not remember not having a lock bar insert. I almost feel like the old ones did, but I must have just never noticed. Which I guess speaks for it. If anybody's going to do a titanium liner lock or liner frame lock, whatever, without an insert, and Reate, I trust, right? And that's who did this, so it's fine. But the price point for that and then, you know, the frustration I have with the proprietary hardware just bothers me. And I know that the proprietary hardware probably makes it more expensive. It's just on my end, it's like I want to pay less for that. Beautiful belt satin. Now that I've got that frustration out, because it just bugged the shit out of me, I had to re-Loctite it a couple times because I just couldn't get it right. And then it was too tight. And I was able to just minusculely get it to loosen a little bit. I don't even think I loosened it. I think I turned it and the whole pivot kind of freed up in there, which isn't great because it means it's going to be harder for me to undo this eventually. But I think that gave the blade enough to just swing down nicely, right? And I have zero play. It's a bank vault. Drops real nice, and that centering seems to be holding up. So I just hope this holds up. Because I had it perfect without any Loctite or anything. But after a couple days, it kind of just started shifting, and that's why I wanted to glue it, and that's how this all started. So I apologize for being a little of a D here, but it's what I do. No, it's just I was frustrated. So I wanted to kind of redo this and just think for a second, not just come at them. But I do want to put my gripes out there because, you know, this is their second run of these, or it could even be more than that. And I wonder what the feedback was the first time, because I would have said this proprietary hardware needs to go right away. And I don't know if they just didn't care when people said that or what. But it is what it is. They do their own thing. I'm not saying they need to, you know, do everything we say. But I just want to put that out there. They do have a budget version of this, the Mach 1, which is sort of a G10 and LMAX version, bead blasted LMAX. That one actually has just regular screws. And I think it is tooled on both sides. So I prefer the build of that one. But this one's more premium with the fat carbon and M390. Technically, I prefer LMAX, but whatever. The belt satin's cooler. One other thing I don't like that bothered me, I forgot to mention, is there was a rattle. So I had a rattle going on. I just put, oh, you guys saw it. I put knife shield on here, so it's smudging in a little bit. I had a rattle. It was like tap, and it would like, it would make all these noises and shit. And what I figured out was there's 3 pins in here, okay? So you have your stop pin up here, right? It goes through sort of a slot in the blade. So that stop pin does move in there. It's not connected. It looks like it's internal connected to the blade. It's not. And then you have another pin down here, right about here, to help hold the backspacer in. But it's not screwed in any way. And then you have a lanyard pin right here. So what I think happened was this one, because think about it, it doesn't have a screw and it being held by these 2 on the ends. So you would think that would be the one that maybe had a little bit of wiggle room, and it was literally rattling in there. So I took it apart and I put Loctite on the inside holes where the pins sat. On every one of those, I put a good amount of Loctite in there, and then put the pins in, put the whole knife together, and I'm sure it cured up, and it took up all that space. So now, you know, no rattly going on. So that's a little bit of a bummer too on a $350 knife. All right, moving on, as I keep staring at the centering, thinking it's off, but it's not. I love this design. And that's why I'm being so hard on it, because normally I would just be like, yeah, you know, and then I'd be done with the knife, maybe do the review and be like, you know, here's some things about it, whatever. But this price point and how much I love this knife makes me want it to be better, if that makes sense. Like, I want them to improve this so that I can enjoy it more on a later version, if that, you know, hopefully that all adds up to you guys. So it's because I love it. The aesthetic is absolutely gorgeous. I'm not a speed hole guy, but it works here. I like the little speed holes. And it's kind of into that fat carbon, so it doesn't, you know, it's not just a bunch of like open tie holes. It kind of, I don't know, kind of hides in the carbon pretty well. And this is the White Storm version, which I'm glad I got. Excuse me, I originally ordered the blue one, Arctic, and then I was like, no, can I change that? And they were very kind at E-Knives, and they did, so shout out to them. I like the shadow boxing. It's not normally something I like, but the way it's done here with contouring and everything, it's really nice. It's just done extremely well. I like that the clip is has hidden hardware. I hate how it's constructed because it affects things, but it does look cool. Now, I will say it's not going to be the most sturdy clip because I actually had the Mach 1, which has the same clip. And I sat down and actually caught this on the side of my chair, and it literally just went and snapped the, it cracked the G10, because that one's G10. It's like this, it looks like carbon, but it's G10. It cracked that G10 down the center, and the clip was like this. Now, shout out to WingmanEDC and their customer service, because I hit them up when that happened. And they actually replaced the whole knife for me. I think I paid $16 for shipping because I had to ship my knife to them. And then I think I might have paid $8 to have them ship mine, the new one, to me. So I think I might have paid $16 and I got a replacement. And it was my fault. I mean, yeah, the clip probably shouldn't have, you know, done that. But I totally was the cause of the issue. So got to give them props for good customer service on that one. So I do like the aesthetics. I like the way the pivots look. I just wish it had tooling. I'd be fine with it. The Mohawk sort of front flipper is really cool. It's pretty unique. It's one of the front flippers that I really liked and gave me thought when it came to designing the Divo Buzz front flipper. Now, we took most of the Buzz front flipper came from the Kubi Hide, which is one of Colin's designs. But the way that this sits and gives you that Bic lighter feel was one of the reasons why I thought that could work. So I really do give this knife some credit for that. It has a pill-shaped hole, much like the infamous, I don't know why I said infamous, F5.5. It's just, here, let me grab a satin one, that might be better. It's a little bit, I think, shorter this way, and then a little bit longer this way. So if you compare them, I mean, it's pretty obvious. This, I would say, is more of a pill, and this is, you know, just its own little kind of oval shape. But you can see there, both of these are Reate made, basically titanium liner locks. Very similar in a lot of ways, but different in many other ways. And it's one of the reasons I really was drawn to this, because it reminded me of the F5, even though I know this design was around first, I think. Tomy Mayo or Jesper, I'm not sure. But it has a hole, and it's just like, it's a very nice knife to actuate. So I'm kind of getting off the rails here because I was all over the place before. But aesthetics are beautiful. I love it. Ergos, for me, are fantastic. I've put this knife in other people's hands or talked about it with other people and had mixed reviews. I've had some people, it's kind of like Kvist in a way, where some people grab that knife with the cutout and it's like, boom, this feels great, right? I'm one of them. But other people grab it and they're like, oh my God, my finger lands in the worst spot. Like, I want to choke up, but then this finger is kind of like in a weird spot, hitting here, whatever, right? For me, my index finger lands right in this groove, ring or middle finger right in the finger choil, right? And then the rest of the fingers just fall down in line. And it feels so good in the hand. And I'm not hard using anything, so like, you know, even if I bear down, though, I don't feel anything. It feels fantastic. I don't feel the clip or anything weird. So it feels great in the hand for me. in a reverse Friday night gas station grip, same thing. I mean, you could choke back into this choil, and now you got a little bit of a guard. I mean, I don't know why you would ever do that. I just hold it like this, but I'm never holding knives like this anyway. I just want to show you. Back off my Slurpee, bruh. So the ergos for me are fantastic. Ergos lining up the hole is good. I will say it's not like, I don't know if it's not like natural, I guess. Hard to explain. It's not necessarily natural. Uh-oh. Nah, it feels fine. Sorry. It's not the most natural. I don't just pick it up and want to flick it. Like, it's kind of like I got to go, okay, I'm getting in there. Boom. It's sort of just an adjustment. Once you know, right? But at first, it's a little different than some knives where you just pick them up and rip them. You just got to kind of aim a little differently. Kind of tilt the knife forward so you can get your finger to fly out this way versus kind of this like normal up thing. I don't know how to explain that, but the lock bar access, talking of ergos, some people rave about it. You have a little bit of space right here to get to, but the way you have to do it is you have to go into the knife, into the lock bar to disengage it, if that makes sense. So for people who disengage knives like this, it's beautiful, right? You just go in with your thumb, slide out of the way, close it, no problem. But for people like me who want to go across and drop to their nail, it's a little awkward. And if I disengage it the way I want to, I get hit right in the cuticle like every time. So what I've learned to do is kind of come at it straight and let it hit my nail right there. It's close, but it works. So just straight, drop, hit, nail. So it works, but it's not ideal. I would love to have this cut or this come forward a little bit more, maybe. That would be the more ideal way, is just if this side came forward a little bit and I could just, because this is cut back enough for sure. But I've got it down at this point to where I just know where to go and not cut myself. And I kind of just try to stop before it hits me and get out of there, you know? So ergos overall are really good. Cutting, I think it's fantastic. I've done the basic stuff with this. Amazon packages, I think I cut a couple of zip ties. That's really it. That's all I've had to do. I've literally carried this every day since I got it, which has been over a week. So if that tells you anything, I really like this knife and I love carrying it and I want to have it in the pocket all the time. So again, that's just one of the reasons why the frustrations bother me more than usual on this. But yeah, the cutting's good. It's M390. I'm sure with Reate, it's somewhere around 61, 62, which is fine. I haven't noticed any issues with that, but again, I haven't used it all that much. It's sharp as hell. And it is a drop point blade. And it's enough for me. Like, it's fine. It's not a clip point, so it doesn't bother me. But it's not like the best. Doesn't have the lowest tip. You got to get up pretty high. The tip is actually pretty sturdy. You can see comes down to a relatively good tip. I mean, I like it. It's got some strength in the tip, but it's not like super thick. The grind is good. It's a flat grind. Would it be cool to see like a full hollow on this? Yeah, maybe, but then it would be a really light blade too. So I don't know. Action wise, that might take away. And man, I'm just like imagining shit with this knife. Sorry. Yeah, cutting for me is good, but again, not a ton of experience. But I've had one of these before, and I've always just enjoyed it. It's a good EDC. Carry, really good. I mean, it just goes in my back left pocket. The clip works absolutely fine. Like I said, just don't catch it on anything. You might rip it off. But it could be that the carbon's stronger, or, I just think it should seat in a little more maybe, because I think that's why it was able to do that. But not positive on that. But it carries really well. It's super lightweight, thin package all around. Definitely an excellent carry. Sounds. This is one of the categories is one of the categories where this guy falls a little short. It just doesn't have a lot of acoustic. And I can tell you why that is. You don't have any milling inside. There's nothing like really hollowed out. And you have the speed holes that are opening things up, which is not going to reverberate sound, right? So you end up kind of dissipating a lot of sound that way. And so you just don't get a lot of sound. But it's fine. You get used to it and you're like, it's okay. But, I'd probably put it somewhere around, a 5 at the most out of 10 in the sound category. Action/fidget factor, and that's where this knife shines a lot, is you have the hole and the top flipper. So it's one of the first knives where I learned to do the reach around move, and it works so well on this. It has good grip on that jimping, grabs really well, but the detent is good. Like, I mean, I don't know if I could fail it if I tried. I'm sure I could leak it out. Nope. So you have a really good reverse flick. It's just a little different, right? It's not like a straight flick like I was saying because of, maybe the hole location, because it's like in the handle, not out of the handle. You kind of have to go out this way. But it feels really good once you figure it out. And then you have, obviously, a thumb flick you can do, which is also pretty intuitive. Just get in there and flick out, and you're good to go. And then you have the buzz cut, mohawk, sorry. So you can get up there and pop it back like a Zippo lighter, like I was saying. Like that, works really well. And then you can get behind it and give it the old reach around. That works right-handed. And then because this is the reason I really like these knives, is it's a sort of sub frame lock. So you have the frame lock in here and the carbon fiber over top. So as a lefty, I can get right on top of this and actuate it just like anybody else, which is awesome. So you can reverse flick it. You can thumb flick it. No problem. And then, of course, you have the top flip and you have the reach around. So overall, that's fantastic. Once you get this thing dialed in, she drops real nice, smooth shakes down. Not a guillotine or anything. Once it hits your nail, you gotta shake it a little bit. You can loosen it to where you might be able to get it to drop a little bit better than that. But, I want no play. This thing is a bank vault, and it's still dropping like that. And then I gotta do some shaking. I'm okay with that, I don't know why I keep checking things. It feels like I got some kind of reverberation. I don't know what it would be. I don't know if it would be the pin again or something. I think it's just me being a freaking maniac. Or is it the clip moving a little bit? No, the clip is not moving. And the centering's still good. No side to side, so here we can check. There's no detent lash. Little bit of pivot lash, so I can move it, up and down this way. No side to side. No side to side here. No lock rock. I mean, that little bit of pivot lash, I know that bothers some people. That's one of the things that doesn't bother me, because I can't feel it. Like, unless I'm doing this, I don't feel it. If it moves side to side, then it bothers me. But up and down, or like in and out, doesn't bother me on when it's in between open and close. If it's locked up and it's up and down, yeah, that would bother me. But this is solid all around. I really love this knife, and that's why I'm being a little bit hard on it. That's basically how I look at it. I want more of these. I've literally contemplated multiple times the last week of buying the red lava flow one or the blue one to A, get another one because I love it so much, and just see maybe I like that color better or whatever, and B, see if maybe the tool would work for me on the other screw I have. Like, I wonder if they have a tool that matches each knife. Some of them one way and some of them the other, which would be weird, but like, I don't know. But that's how much I like the knife, that I want more. And I want it to be better so that I can love it more. So that's kind of where I'm at with this. I love it. Right now, it's definitely staying in the collection. Is it going to become a knife that sits in the case and then I end up selling it? Possibly. I mean, that's 99% of knives that happens to. So it's not really the knife, it's me. But I find little things that bug me about knives, and then that gives me an excuse. And my excuses on this are the proprietary hardware being a pain in my ass. And the construction, kind of, basically. So, but it's a fantastic knife. Highly recommend it. I mean, I've been recommending it like crazy. And I think 99% of you out there are going to love it the way it is. All the stuff that bothers me is just shit that bothers me, you know? It's just that knife OCD in me for some reason. So I'm going to shut up now. I truly appreciate you guys watching this. I hope the positivity comes across. I know I'm a little bit somber about it. I was just really frustrated right before this about this knife. So, but I love it. It's absolutely fantastic. It's absolutely recommendable. It's absolutely a wonderful knife. So please take that as the takeaway. Yeah, I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later.